everyone, this is Kelly. I'm now ready to give you the most exciting GH news, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel. After all he's been through, it feels like the walls are finally closing in on him. I remember when Drew first came back to Port Charles, full of promise and that quiet strength that made so many of us root for him. But lately, the choices he's made have led him down a dangerous path. And I can't help but feel we're about to see a reckoning that has been building for a long time. The latest developments show Drew facing serious consequences for his actions, particularly with the embezzlement of funds. From what we've seen, those missing funds from the Esplanade project tied to McConkey aren't just going to disappear quietly. I believe the writers are setting up a powerful storyline where Drew's crimes come fully into the light the moment he regains consciousness. It's not just about the money anymore. It's about trust, about power, and about the fragile line between being a victim of blackmail and becoming complicit in wrongdoing. Sidwell's influence has loomed over Drew like a dark cloud, forcing him into corners that no one should have to face. Yet, as a longtime viewer, I have to say Drew bears responsibility too. He could have sought help from friends like Sonny or even turned to the authorities earlier, but he chose silence and secrecy. That decision, in my opinion, makes his current situation even more heartbreaking. One question that keeps circling in my mind is whether Drew will truly be impeached as soon as he wakes up. From everything the show has hinted at, the answer seems to be yes, and it could happen faster than any of us expect. His term as senator was never truly secure after the shooting and the paralysis induced by Sidwell's drugs. The seat itself was arranged through manipulation, and now that foundation is crumbling. I find it fascinating how the writers are weaving in real-world political consequences into our beloved soap. Impeachment wouldn't just be a personal fall for Drew. It would shake the entire political landscape in Port Charles. It proves how interconnected everything has become, personal betrayals bleeding into public duty. I've always appreciated when General Hospital tackles these bigger themes because it mirrors life in such a raw way. And then there's Willow. Oh, that poor girl has been thrust into a role she never asked for or earned through election. She's been holding down the congressional seat in Drew's absence, stepping up like a devoted partner should. But will that position survive if Drew is removed through impeachment? I don't think so, at least not automatically. Willow never campaigned for it herself. She inherited it through circumstances, and those circumstances are now tainted. This creates such a compelling layer of tension. Will Willow fight to keep the seat by running in a special election, or will the scandal drag her down alongside Drew? I've seen Willow grow so much over the years, from a young nurse with a big heart to a woman navigating love, loss, and now political intrigue. In my view, this storyline highlights her resilience, but it also shows the heavy price of loyalty. I worry for her, truly. Being married to Drew has pulled her into dangers she deserves protection from. The new troubles facing both of them feel particularly intense right now. Drew, waking up only to face immediate legal proceedings and potential prison time, adds such urgency to every episode. I keep asking myself, how will he recover physically while battling these accusations? The paralysis from the drugs has already taken so much from him, and now the threat of imprisonment looms. It's a double blow that feels almost cruel, yet perfectly in line with the dramatic style that has kept us hooked for decades. What I find most interesting is how this mirrors past storylines where characters like Sonny or Jason face their own reckonings. The difference here is the political angle, which brings fresh stakes. Drew isn't just fighting for his freedom. He's fighting to preserve whatever legacy he built in public service. I have a strong personal opinion on Sidwell's role in all this. That man has been a master manipulator, using blackmail to control Drew and create chaos. Removing him feels necessary for any real resolution, yet I suspect his exit won't be clean or simple. The show has a way of making villains linger just long enough to cause maximum damage. If Sidwell is taken out of the picture, it might open the door for Drew to expose the full extent of the coercion, potentially softening the legal blow. But even then, the embezzlement charges won't vanish. Evidence is mounting, and characters like Jack Brennan seem ready to push things forward. Jack's own recovery from similar drug effects has been slow and painful, serving as a preview of what Drew might endure. It's clever writing, showing us the long-term physical and emotional toll. Another aspect I love pondering is the moral gray area Drew occupies. He was both victim and participant blackmailed into compliance, but still making choices that hurt others. Many longtime fans I've chatted with online feel the same way. Some say he deserves leniency because of the coercion, while others believe accountability is essential for his growth. I lean toward the latter. Redemption stories are what make General Hospital special, and I think Drew has the potential for one if he faces his mistakes head on. Willow's involvement in the shooting incident adds another heartbreaking layer. She carries guilt that no one should bear alone, and I hope the upcoming episodes allow her to heal while supporting Drew through his darkest days. Will this lead Drew straight to prison upon waking? The signs point strongly in that direction, creating an atmosphere of dread mixed with anticipation. I can already imagine the courtroom scenes, the family confrontations, and the quiet moments of reflection in his hospital room. It's the kind of high-stakes drama that reminds me why I've stayed loyal to this show through marriages, births, deaths, and every shocking revelation. The new dangers Willow and Drew face together feel like a test of their bond. Can their marriage survive public scandal, legal battles, and the shadow of imprisonment? I believe it can, but not without serious changes and honest conversations. What excites me most is how these developments promise even more explosive storylines ahead. Every time Drew stirs in that hospital bed, viewers like me will be on the edge of our seats wondering what accusation will hit first. The haunting new elements, regret, lost opportunities, fractured relationships add emotional depth that goes beyond simple plot twists. I've always said General Hospital excels at making us care deeply about flawed characters, and Drew's arc is proving that once again. As someone who's followed these characters through generations, I feel this storyline is a turning point. It challenges us to think about justice, forgiveness, and second chances. Drew's troubles aren't just his own. They ripple out to Willow, their family, and the entire community. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Will truth prevail? Can love conquer the consequences of past mistakes? These questions keep me tuning in faithfully, and I encourage every fellow fan to do the same. The heat is on in Port Charles, and the best is yet to come. What truly shocks me now is how Cullum is positioning himself to push both Drew and Willow aside and claim that Senate seat for himself. Cullum has always struck me as a man who plays the long game, waiting in the shadows for the perfect moment to strike. With Drew still recovering and facing embezzlement charges tied to the Esplanade project, Cullum seems ready to step in and take everything. I believe this move proves just how calculated the new storylines have become. It's not merely about replacing one politician with another. It's about power shifting in dangerous ways that will affect everyone in town. Willow has been holding that congressional position with such grace and quiet strength, even though she never earned it through her own election. She's been there for Drew through the darkest times, yet now it looks like Cullum's ambitions could strip that away from her too. This creates such emotional depth for her character. I've always admired Willow's growth from her nursing days to stepping into this political world she never chose. In my opinion, seeing her fight to protect her family's future while Drew battles both physical recovery and legal accusations will be some of the most compelling television we've seen in years. The question I keep asking myself is whether Willow has the inner fire to challenge Cullum directly in a special election. I think she does, but the path ahead looks incredibly difficult. These new explosive actions are taking the drama even further. The crimes that are coming to light aren't just Drew's alone anymore. They seem to be revealing a wider web of corruption that could bring fresh crises to Port Charles. Sidwell's blackmail and manipulation started this chain reaction, but now with Cullum making his move, the stakes feel higher than ever. I have a strong feeling that the writers are setting up a major power struggle that will expose even more hidden secrets. Drew waking up to face impeachment, possible prison time, and the loss of his position all at once is heartbreaking. Yet, as a longtime fan, I see the potential for real growth here. Characters like Drew often find their true strength only after hitting rock bottom. The shifting calculations in this storyline prove that no one's future is safe. Cullum's rise could trigger a whole new wave of conflicts, alliances breaking, old rivalries reigniting, and perhaps even threats to the safety of those Drew and Willow love. I worry about how this will test their marriage. Will the pressure pull them closer together or drive them apart? In my view, love stories in General Hospital shine brightest during times of crisis, and this one has all the ingredients for something unforgettable. What excites me most is knowing that more shocks are waiting just around the corner. Every episode now carries that electric tension, making me wonder what revelation will drop next. Will Drew manage to expose Cullum's own schemes before it's too late? Can Willow hold on to her role long enough to make a real difference? These questions keep me coming back, just as they have for decades. Poor Charles is heading into turbulent waters with these new dangers, and I, for one, cannot wait to see how our favorite characters navigate them. The beauty of this show has always been its ability to blend personal struggles with larger-than-life drama. Drew's reckoning feels personal and political at the same time, and Cullum's bold takeover adds a fresh layer of intrigue that keeps the story feeling alive and relevant. I've shared many conversations with fellow fans my age who feel the same excitement mixed with concern. We love these characters like family, and watching them face such high-stakes challenges reminds us why we've stayed loyal all these years.